I got a feeling that you got me covered too. I got you covered. I got you covered.
Hi, everybody. How is everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. I'm sorry I'm late. I've really sore. I've kind of taken it a little bit easy today. I still have Christina's calendar to finish and work on. I tried to put the little snowman pin on, and it's not sticking where I want it to. There we go. And I still have to upload the Advent calendar or Advent day 9. I can't believe where's the days gone? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Day 9 for Advent. I will be uploading that shortly because we're working out of this book. I'm not going to be on long. We said we're going to do it no matter what, which I am. I don't know. I think I've just pushed my body beyond what it could do, and dealing with fibromyalgia, it's telling me you got to take it easy. So I have reluctantly. We have Christmas Connection cookie things going up and through until the end of the month, or not the end of the month, the end of the week, Saturday. I was able to get, I said to Josh today, I said, what was your favorite? He gave me one recipe his mom did. So he's submitting a cookie recipe as well. That's getting done. We're going to do the bean soup. Now, tomorrow night, we're going to go ahead and come on about 5 o'clock. Be prepared for that one. And we're going to do some paint pour of Christmas ornaments. My other keeper goes on at 7 o'clock, so then we'll redirect over to her. I just want to have a heart-and-heart talk for a moment. I just really hope that there is nothing that this channel has done, because I was hoping for more people to come in, and I know YouTube has the notifications go out for the channel and everything. For sometimes they're delayed. It takes a while for people to come in, but if there's anything that has happened, I don't see any of it. But everybody, if there's an issue or something, let's resolve it. I just miss everybody kind of coming in, and I don't know if it's the time. I don't know if, I know there's a lot of connection going on right now, and it's wonderful to see. We're so glad to be able to see all the wonderful connection happening. I know that some people have reached out to me this week concerning the monetization celebration and their winnings. I want people to understand that was not done in any way, shape, or form to just do it and not send out anything. There are going to be things sent out. I'm working on getting all of the shorts for the cookie recipes up and on up and loaded. My mom and I are working on that so they can be all ready in the system to go. And those kind of things, so we can get those running. Hi, Allison. How are you? You're lurking on your phone? Well, welcome. It's good to see you. I just thought we're gonna have a heart talk for a minute. I know that it has been a minute. As far as the celebration for the monetization was on the 9th of November, and there was some unforeseen circumstances that happened. I told people when we had the monetization, and if I had thought about it longer, I think I would have made the monetization celebration in December after the crash show. That was my fault, and I apologize to that for everybody, because the craft show took a lot, and I haven't responded back to the emails yet. And that's just because I have felt like since then, everything's kind of been spinning a little bit. When I hurt my knee, that put me down. When I hurt my foot, that put me down. And that was so unexpected. I tell you, I don't know what I did to my foot. It's still not been the same since I hurt it. And then we were not expecting to get the phone call that my husband's stepmother passed away very unexpectedly, very quickly. My aunt went into hospice over the month of November. We were not expecting the greatest news from that. There was a lot of stuff, and we went out of town. There was a lot of stuff, guys, that happened in November. And then when we came back, there was a lot of stuff that we needed to do. We had to do certain thing to some filming and getting some stuff together. I know that there's no excuses out there. I get that. I understand that. But there are some circumstances that kind of led into why things have been delayed a little bit. And everybody that has reached out and I have responded back with what's going on, like, don't worry about it. I am so sorry for your loss. Don't worry. We understand. No problem. So don't think for one moment that we did the monetization celebration. We promised the gifts that we offered, which we did, and we just did it to get, to have the monetization celebration, all that. We didn't. They are going to get out. I'm somebody that if I promise somebody that I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to follow through with it. And this channel is always going to stand behind that, no matter what. And I'm realizing that as this channel is growing, we need to be more organized than what we are. And that is in the process of happening so that things don't fall through the cracks. Um, you know, when we started this channel back in, yes, and I get it too, Allison. There's so many there's so many new channels out there. I totally get it. 100%. There's so many channels. Hi Backlash Fisherman, welcome. There's so many channels and there's so many hours to watch. I totally understand it. Everybody that comes into the lives and comes into the replay crew and watches and supports this channel in any way, shape, or form, we are tremendously grateful. I just felt as if there needed to be a little bit of a heart-to-heart conversation about it because I didn't want people to feel like, well, she just did the monetization celebration and she promised what she did and we're never going to receive them. You all are going to receive you. And everybody has been so gracious to say, oh, well, once they hear everything, we understand, don't worry about it. And I just wanted people to know that. I feel like I finally kind of got caught up with everything. And I'm working really hard to make sure that it happens the way that, everything that needs to happen happens. Um, I just, I really am so grateful for all the connection. And I wanted to make sure, yeah, I'm back. My computer and all that kind of stuff does that every once in a while. Um, you know, I just wanted to make sure that if there was any, I think that that's good to do that. I may be frozen again. See eye to eye. Um, uh, you know, um, I just thought it would be good to kind of clear the air a little bit. Um, I don't, I want to make sure that if anybody feels as if, there's anything they need to talk about, that's what this channel is all about. We are learning as we are growing. When we started this channel, we started it for the basis of, Mom, let's just have the channel so we can show off our crochet. That was it. It was never to do this kind of stuff or build any content on it or doing it. So we're learning as we are growing. We're kind of learning from people that are bigger than us on how to do things, and we're making mistakes and we're doing this. And I'm learning as we're growing it. And my mom's learning as we're growing it. But I just thought that the conversation needed to be had. I don't expect everybody. It'd be great if we had also the subscribers that subscribe to the channel here when we're live, but that's nearly impossible. That's never going to happen, and that's fine. And the people that are here when we go live are the people that are supposed to be here. And the people that are watching on the replay are an amazing support to this channel, and we are so grateful. All the other channels, and we hope we can be a blessing to them. So, I just thought it was important to sit and say, well, if we need to clear the air, if there's some things that need to be discussed, if we need to do a different time, we are going to, with the Christmas connection, do some different times throughout this month. I've kind of set it for 7, but I know I need to adjust that a little bit. Like tomorrow, we're going to come on at 5 and do some different times. And maybe I can one morning come on and we can have a cup of coffee together and that kind of thing. You know, you know, when we got monetized, I never thought that that was going to happen. I remember the clip from Tommy when we told him, and I'm like, we never thought that was going to happen to be monetized. And I'm sitting there going, when we got to that step, it was like, you know, yeah, I was just floored, and I was just thrilled, not for myself, because that's not my payday is not that. My payday is the connection that I get with all of you. Um, all the monetization, I say, Mama, do whatever you need to do with it. And it goes to her, and that's how I've wanted it from day one. I'm just thrilled to get on here and have a place to talk to you all. And I'm a talker. I need to talk. And my family goes, this is your outlet to be able to talk. And I'm grateful for that beyond belief, to have that and open that up. But if I've pushed anything in the sense of maybe talking about memberships or super chats a little bit too much, I'm not trying to do that. I'm learning as we're going. I've started to change it so that maybe wording it in the sense of you all, whether you're members or not, are appreciated. And we are so thankful for each and every one of you. Yes, the memberships do help to be able to do things like we're able to get the Advent Journal and be able to do this content. We were able to go out and do some other content. We were able to go to get some wood, ornaments to be able to show you how to paint for those. We can do some giveaways. We're going to be able to, Mr. Blessed Crochet said to me, sometime this month, I want you to gift 5 memberships from me so that you will never know when that. Hi, Caradish. I'm so glad to see you. Hi, Jake. How are you? He's going to be able to, he's going to do that sometime in the month. He said, just make it a surprise, but I want it to come from me and let me know. And I want to do that for all the people that have been so supportive. So I've changed it, and we've changed it when we're talking about it, to say, you know what, if it happens and it's done, it's never expected and it's appreciated, because I don't want people to feel as, well, we're just coming live for this. This is not what this is all about. I mean, if we go off and we have people in this chatting it up, and they feel as if they want to, then that's up to them. But if we get off alive and the chat's rolling and people are connecting with each other, you've made this girl a happy camper. If there are people that are able to give memberships and do super chats and they feel led to do that, then that's wonderful. It is appreciated, but it's never expected. And again, I have learned as I've gone. When I did this, I didn't know what I was doing. I don't think anybody grows up and says, you know what, I want to be a YouTuber one day. That was never on my radar. I actually wanted to be a teacher. Um, so, I'm just learning as I'm going and figuring out how to navigate this and how to do this. And I trying to do the best that I can, but having the community and I've said this, the lifeboat is kind of the hub of everything. But there are channels that have come off of the lifeboat, like ours, that it was because Tommy said, if you got something to say, hit that big red button. And we did hit that big red button, and we're so blessed to do that. And we could do that. But and some people didn't come from the lifeboat. But there are people that come in this chat that I go, I know they're lifeboat family. And having more connection, especially this time of year. We're following the lead of the lifeboat. The lifeboat is doing tons of content throughout the day for you all, and we're doing exactly what Tommy's asking us to do, which is get the content out there, get people connected. It does do something here. It does something for your mood. I have been as a fibromyalgia patient. I don't know what I've done to make my body ticked off with me, but it is ticked. And I know when I get off here, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to feel better, and I'm going to be better in a better mental space and all that kind of stuff, because I've connected with people that are important in this channel. And I get my connection. I don't know if I want to say a fix, but it is. You get dopamine dropped, and I won't get rid of the pain level I'm in today. And I've taken my medicine. I've done all the stuff I'm supposed to do, but it's going to help lessen it a little bit, because when I'm sitting here talking to you all, I can sit here and say, do I hurt? Absolutely. My whole body is not happy with me, but I don't hurt as much because there's connection. But like I have said on numerous occasions, the connection doesn't happen with this girl. The connection happens and the magic happens always in the chat. It's never going to happen any other way. Because as I find it not necessarily here yet, but going into Reese's channel or going into the Lifeboat channel, and if you're not someone that's in the Lifeboat, go check them out. Awesome channel. So grateful for them. And if you go into their channel, if Tommy doesn't hit every comment, you're getting all this connection happening within the chat. And I see it as a moderator on there, both channels. We actually have a cookie recipe coming out on Wednesday, and it's a little nod to the Lifeboat. I thought we have to do a cookie recipe in a way that's going to be a nod to the Lifeboat. And we actually used Jake Hudson's song that he did for the Lifeboat for that cookie short. And I hope everybody's enjoying the cookie short. Of course, I left my phone all the way over there, so I can't grab it and I can't put anybody else's links up. But I hope people are going in and not only looking at those cookie recipes, but subscribing to the channels. Even if they don't have content, hit that subscribe, because maybe down the road that'll be a channel that wouldn't maybe necessarily do content, but they may do content down the road, and you've already connected with them. You'll have made that connection point that'll be happening. I can tell you I'm a different person, and people around me see it, not at the core, but who I am and my confidence. I probably would have maybe a year ago not said, okay, let's clear the air. If they're, people, if we're going live and nobody's coming in, then to me that there's something going on. Is it the notifications happening with YouTube? Is it something that this channel is, done? Is it something I've done? Let's clear the air. maybe there are people that, feel as if, things that were promised out to them have not gotten out yet. And they will. Like I said, I'm getting the cookie recipes done of what I have up until the 7th. And if you've got a great cookie recipe and you want to submit it, there's still time. I mean, I've put up one a day, but I could have put more than one a day up if we'd had the recipes to kind of do that. And it'll be bigger next year. I know it. Hold on a second. But that to me is important. And so once that gets done, I didn't want to start going through all the things and organizing everything. And honestly, for the past 2 days, I really haven't had the energy to do it. Moving around has been necessary. I've had to do that or I get too stiff. But doing any excess more than taking a step back for a couple days is what I needed to do. And but I'm planning to get the cookie recipes up. Christina's calendar that I showed you all how to go on Shutterfly if you're looking for a great, a really personable gift. We do it for our daughter every year. I showed that last night. But tomorrow I have every intent of going. I guess I should say with my way my body's been not too happy with me, is tomorrow and Thursday or tomorrow and Wednesday, either tomorrow or Wednesday, I'm going to get all the emails together, respond to everybody and get everything together. And hopefully by Friday or Saturday, get everything out. That is the plan. To be able to have that all happen. We decided to go through stamps.com so that instead of standing at the post office when we have mailings, we can do it right directly from the home and weigh them, and it's also less expensive. So that'll make it easier too, because then I can go ahead and I can't stand for very long anyway with my back. So we can get everything that needs to be done, and then we can just take it to the post office. And my mom could even take it and take it to the post office and drop it off, and we're done. So that'll make things easier. So I just wanted everybody to know that. I wanted everybody to realize, they were not at all empty promises. If you all have something from, I've been in contact with people and will be, and I just wanted everybody to know that. But I really hope that people will start coming in again. And in the comments, let us know if we need to change your time. If there's another time that works for you, let us know. We'll change one of the Christmas connections to fit that time. I figure out I'm not someone who does mornings well. just a note. I like to get up. I like to have my time. And of course, the lifeboat comes on at 11 o'clock. And usually 9 out of 10 times I will be moderating that. So, but I still think it would be nice maybe to get up one morning and have coffee with you all. So I thought we'll try that one morning. But I just really hope that if there's things that we can do to improve, please let us know. And my email is there. Reach out to us if there's something, if you have a prayer request, if there's something you would like to discuss, please feel free to reach out. And we will start doing that. One thing that I'm planning on doing coming this next year is really having my mom kind of take over any of the emails that need to be handled appropriately. I'm going to get her more and more involved because I like the past couple of days, I just haven't had the energy. When you have fibromyalgia, it just stinks. Let's get down to the basis, the brass tacks, right? It just stinks. And you think, well, I should be able to do this, and I should be able to do this, and I should be able to do that. And your body says, no, you can't. I mean, it was about 4:30 this afternoon. Hi, Rudy, how are you? And I had to lay down for a nap for an hour. I cannot keep my eyes open. I can't move. I'm hurting too much. And people don't, people that aren't dealing with a chronic illness like that don't realize the toll that it takes on your body. They look at you and they see you and you look just fine. And they don't realize that, you're really struggling. And I have been today. I struggled yesterday. And emotionally and physically, I can say I'm tired. And I'm tired because the pain level's up past what I normally live at. I live about a 2 or 3. I'm sitting about a 5 or 6. That's a significant difference. And there's nothing that I can really do other than say, okay, let's focus on something else beside in pain. Make sure I get on and connect with people. And if they're not coming in the chat, and I totally understand. I listen, guys, there is a lot of content on YouTube. I also understand that it's a very busy time of season and everybody's busy and they're with family and all that kind of stuff. I get all of that. And I don't expect everybody here every time there's a live coming on. Good night. You have a life. I don't expect you to just say, okay, well, Blessed to Crochet is on. I got to get over there. No, if you're busy with your family, please. They're important. If you're going to have a lunch date with a friend, go do it. you know, I don't expect all the content that we put up for everybody to sit there and watch it and everybody to see it. No, that's not going to happen. If you're available and you want to come into our channel when it's live and come in and talk and connect with people, then come in and do so. That's up to you. But I just wanted to make sure that there was, that if there's anything that anybody wants to talk about, that we can talk about it and have a discussion. I'm not one of these people that likes to have, I guess you could say, well, everything's fine, but there's all the stuff underneath. I think that really makes for very unhealthy relationships. When you're here and you've got here, and if you've got a problem with somebody, and I'm not saying anybody has a problem with us or anything like that. I'm just saying in general, good little relationship topic, right? Is when you just say everything's fine and then there's really something to discuss, and it can be a simple misunderstanding. It can be a very simple misunderstanding, but when you can talk about it and say, oh, okay. And not only that, be able to look at the person and be able to see things from their point of view. I think that we forget that not only do we need to look at it's like, here's a perfect example. There was a situation recently between my daughter and I. Now, I was looking at it from this point of view. We resolved it, and she said to me, and I guess I've taught her well. She said, well, Mom, if I didn't discuss it with you, then I would have just had that and it would have been festering underneath. And it was true. And so I won't go into detail about the situation, what it was. It was very simple, but she saw one thing. I saw the other thing. Hi, Kristen. Well, you tell him hello from his Aunt Mary. And anyway, and I hope he's having a wonderful bath. That sounds actually really wonderful. I wish I had a jacuzzi. I could just go stick my whole body in right now. Anyway, I saw one thing and she saw another thing. Well, she didn't understand all the stuff that was going on while the situation was happening. And I didn't understand that my facial expression that I was giving her, because she called me by FaceTime, was something that was upsetting to her. I didn't understand. I didn't get that. And I said, well, honey, that's not what I meant at all. I just was doing something at the time. And the situation and everything, and we resolved it. But I'm so glad that she's gotten to the point where she goes, you know what, if I don't talk about this, then it's going to fester. And, we discussed it back and forth, but I made sure that not only could she see my point of view, but I could see her point of view, right? And I think that that's so important. We need to be able to do that. And if we talk about a lot of things, are some things. I think that if we can take the moment and say, okay, what does it look through your eyes? What is it on your end? Then I think that we can certainly do a lot better. We can clear up some things that have been misunderstood, or you know, um, you know, unresolved. It was like, with the stuff from the monetization celebration. I told everybody when we did the monetization celebration, and guys, we had so much fun doing that. That was such an amazing night. Well, I told everybody, just so everybody knew, most likely nothing's going to get sent out till the first week, probably the first or second week of December, because of everything going on. And, but not that people didn't hear that, but there was so much going on that they maybe not had caught that nuance. And the emails I've responded back, they've said, "Oh, okay, I didn't hear that." And then when I tell them that we had a death in the family unexpected, they go, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Get it to us when you can." Well, uh, it's going to get to everybody that got something. I just, you know, if we can do something better, then we want to do it. If you have a suggestion or a thing that you would like to discuss, email us. We're all we're open ears. This channel did not grow the way it did without the people supporting it. And it is what it is because of you all. I've started to say, and it's very true, I started saying it around Thanksgiving time, that you all are the blessing behind Blessed to Crochet. And it's absolutely true. We couldn't be where we are without you guys. You make it what it is. This is no channel without any of the subscribers to it. And people have, people, we've we've grown and will continue to grow. I know I'm not much to look at. Of course, not my husband. He says I'm beautiful all the time. And there's nothing bombshell happening, but we have some things that we can discuss. We can discuss good topics, and sometimes the chat in itself, um, the chat in itself takes the conversation in a direction that I never thought it would. It does it on the lifeboat all the time. Your video yesterday was my first on this channel. I could write an essay about it. For brevet, I will say that it was exactly what I needed at the right moment. Well, I am so glad. Was it out of here? Because this, if y'all haven't watched those videos, this has been very, very, I've really, really enjoyed this. And we've got to do, I'm going to end in a little bit in this. Day 9 is faith or bitterness. So that's the one, and the pictures in here are just beautiful. That's the one that we're going to be doing. Oh, yes. And it has just been a beautiful, beautiful, and the questions have really, to me, been something to think about. And I think that whether or not we are, and I'm so glad it's helpful to you. Hi, Seventh. Oh, Seventh, I want you to know your cookie recipe, I got it, and I'm working to get it done. So it'll be out on Friday. Yours is Friday. I did a special recipe I've got everybody lined up, and yours is coming out on Friday. So it looks delicious. But I think that if one thing that it's helped me to kind of have something like this is when we get through the craziness of Christmas. Sometimes just the busyness of it, whether it's focusing, whether you're a believer and you're focusing, you're having some time in the Word and so forth, and you're going to that, or you're not. And that's why we mainly do our Devotion Tuesday. We do this Advent. It's all pre-recorded because I never wanted anybody to feel as if we were going to have a live devotion. Now, it's something, it's something that I've thought maybe next year we would do a little bit of that live. But when people come into our main discussions and our main lives, I never wanted it to, like the lifeboat, have people feel like they were excluded because they didn't believe what we believed. If we have that, it would be separate. It would be set up in a way so people feel like they could come in. And when we had those, we would do them in that environment, and then people could come in and, feel like they weren't pressured into feeling that they had to believe what we believe. I wanted it to be a safe place. I wanted to open it up and have that. And I think we have accomplished that. But that's why all that's pre-recorded. And maybe next year we'll do a live devotion. But I want to walk that very carefully. And that's not trying to hide my faith under, or our faith with this channel too as well, under a bushel. I'm very open to the fact that that's what I believe, and that's what my mom believes, and that's where we stand. But I also want people that need the connection, that maybe not be walking in that way, to feel like they could still come in if they're struggling. Just a powerful thing for me is, as I look back on my life, I love my daughter. She's beyond a blessing from God as far as I'm concerned. But having autism was a real struggle. And it was I had my family, but it was a very lonely time in my life because nobody understood, right, what I was going through. They didn't get it. They didn't understand it. It didn't resonate with anybody. Nobody took the time to say, listen, I don't understand autism, but can we go out to lunch and you can tell me about it and we can talk about it? Nobody did that. And I remember going over to a friend's house, and I've told this story before, with the selfie stick. I was on her couch, and we're trying to figure out the selfie stick. She's one of my dear friends. And I remember laughing, and my daughter was in her teenage years. And I remember sitting there going, I got in the car and I cried. Hi, Alfonso. You know why I cried? Because I couldn't remember the last time I sat on the couch with a friend and laughed. And I thought to myself, I don't ever want to be, right? I don't ever want to be I don't want anybody to ever feel as if they're walking this life alone. If there's a mom who's struggling, if there's somebody that's struggling, whatever it is, I don't want them to be on the couch alone. And for me, what became real was last year in December. My aunt had been diagnosed with her cancer. I was going through another very difficult family situation. And somebody from the boat came in and helped me through it. The lifeboat came to life. I mean, honestly, those connections came to life. And I thought, well, it had made such a difference in mine. I wanted to do it for the crew. Never imagining that we could even think about getting monetized. And I didn't think of that. I just thought I'll put it out there and we'll see what happens. Well, I did. And then we put up a short, just this very simple short of Mocha, and it got over 10,000 views. And we got 100 subscribers. And I was like, well, maybe it's possible. And then I started to think about it, and we started to grow it. And it's taken a lot of hard work to get there. I'm really glad we did it. And once I realized, hey, Mom, if we're going to do this, if you're going to get the monetization from this, then we need to really accomplish this in the first year, because otherwise it's going to be a downward spiral after that. And I'm grateful that we did it. We've made a lot of connections. I did a video. Jake did a wonderful song for our channel. And when I was making the video for the monetization celebration, I'm telling you, the one thing that came through that video was all of the connections that we have made with people. It wasn't a video of us out there doing a lot of, there was some field trips and stuff and so forth, and some crafting and so forth. But time and time again, you saw connection, connection, connection. And maybe everybody's tired of me about me preaching it. But guys, I'm going to preach it. It doesn't fix everything, but it sure helps if you're going through a difficult time. It sure helps if you're sitting dealing with a chronic illness. It helps if you're trying to raise a child with special needs. You have to have an outlet to talk and be able to connect with people when you're going through a rough time. I know that, I mean, when Josh's stepmother passed away last month, very unexpectedly, I was literally on the boat when it happened. Because I was on the boat moderating. I hadn't been in there very long. And one of his relatives messaged and said, is Josh okay? I said, what do you mean? And I thought it was going to be his father that passed away. And he said, I said, yeah, everything's fine. And he goes, didn't you hear the news? His stepmother was Kay. She passed away. I said, what? He said, he doesn't know yet. I said, no, he doesn't. And I put in the chat, I got to go out there and tell him. Now he had begun to kind of get close. And the one thing about his stepmother was that she was kind of the conduit between communication with his father, which has been rocky, to say the least. And there's a whole story behind that. But she was kind of the conduit that was helping kind of make those connections points happen with his father. Now that conduit is gone. So they've spent some time building a relationship over the past couple of years and actually connecting with each other. And now I have to go out there and tell him that his stepmother passed away, and I was on the boat when it happened. I mean, I had all the support around me when I sat there and said, guys, you'll never believe what just happened. So I'm going to preach connection to my last breath, because it has made such an impact in my life. I've learned a lot from everybody that comes in the chat. I've learned a lot from the lifeboat. I've learned a lot from Tommy. I consider Tommy a brother. I have brothers and sisters because I was an only child that I never would have had if I hadn't gotten with the lifeboat. And it was a channel I didn't think I needed. I don't need the lifeboat. Yes, I did. I needed the connection points. I'm not an addict. Yes, I am. I deal with food addiction. If I'm hurting, I don't do it as much as when I was younger, but if I'm hurting emotionally or physically, there's sometimes I can go in that direction, and I have to watch myself. So I'm an addict. Absolutely 100%. We're all in the same boat. None of us are going this road, and we're all in the same boat. We all struggle with something. That's why this Christmas connection and this lives have been happening, no matter what has been happening, even if it came having to do it from my bed with a green screen thing behind me yesterday, or I'm sitting here going, okay, I've got to get on the computer and do it from here because the green screen was kind of choppy, and I've got to record the ninth Advent thing. I'm going to do it because I want people to realize the power that connection has. And if you don't think you can make friends through this thing we call YouTube, you can. You can make friends. You can make those connection points happen. And there will be people that will be there for you if you are going through a difficult time. And like Kara said, I hope I said your name right. She said the video that we put out yesterday was exactly what she needed at the perfect timing. And I am so glad to hear that. That's why we're doing what we're doing. And we hope that these lives are here so that you guys can have them in place so that if you need it, you have it. If we need to adjust our time, then let us know. If you don't tell us, we're not going to know. Maybe we need to do a different time. We need to change it up a little bit. But I have no problem with people, if they have an issue, let's talk about it. And I want everybody to know that that really is honestly the way that I want it whenever we're dealing with anything on this channel. If you have an issue, and this is not just about this is just in everything, guys. If there's an issue and you want to come in and talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's have an open conversation. As long as you're nice and respectful, we can have a conversation. Here's the important thing. We may never come to agreement on it. I can look at it from your point of view. You can look at it from my point of view. We never may come to a total agreement. However, we can walk away hopefully as friends. I have no problem having discussion with anybody, because I think that as this channel grows, we're going to have people that may have an issue here and there. Come and let's talk about it. If something upsets you, let's talk about it. That's why we turn on the big red button and come on live, so that we can talk about issues, whether they're easy or hard. We can talk about it. We may not come to a total agreement, but we can come to a resolution. And if there's apologies that need to be made at any point in time, I have no problem saying I made a mistake. I'm sorry. If I had to redo it over again, I think I would have waited until December to actually do the monetization celebration when I wasn't fixed with all that stuff. But I know now that if we ever have to when we do our yearly anniversary for this channel will always be January 13th. So I'm kind of thankful that it doesn't fall around Christmas time. I also have learned that, because I don't know totally everything, is that when we participate in Fall Fest that Gail Southern Living does every year, we're going to make sure that we get everything all ready to go prior to doing the video, and it's put aside so that way if we get busy and things happen, we're all ready, and it's all ready to mail out once the winner has been chosen. I realize that we want to keep the cookie recipes, and if you guys got a great cookie recipe, we want it. We have the cookie recipes. We're just going to go ahead and change the form up it'll be the same form, but it'll be for 2025, and we're going to keep that going all year long. Why? Because if people want to submit a cookie recipe in March, then we can go ahead and get the cookie recipe. We can do it in Canva, which is taking us longer than we thought. But guys, I'm totally enjoying doing the cookie recipes, because it is so much fun to do the cookie recipes. And not only that, but to attach your songs that you guys are giving us. Songs some of them I have never heard before with them. So, we're going to keep the cookie recipe thing going out throughout the year. So you might say, oh, they're going to be dropping Christmas Cookie Connection in the middle of February. Absolutely. And the reason we're going to do it is because if you have a cookie recipe and you want to submit it in March or April, we can go ahead and it'll say Christmas songs, I know, but this way we can go ahead and get them done, go ahead and even upload them into the system, because you can upload way in advance with YouTube, upload them, and then they're done. So we are learning things this year that I'm saying to myself, and I say it every year, I say it with Christina's calendar I do every year, I'm never going to wait till the end, and I'm waiting till the end. But that is something that I need to work on. I can be somebody that procrastinates on a whole, but then I also have to realize that there's some days I haven't gotten the card in the mail yet, Alfonso, and I've got your connection cake. It's going to go out sometime within the next week. Um, but I will be on the lookout for the card. Uh, I realize that procrastination is something that I struggle with. But I also have to look at from a standpoint of sometimes it's not necessarily procrastination as it is like today. My pain level, which is normally a 2 or 3, is sitting at a 5 or 6. So I'm dealing with excess pain that I normally don't deal with, and it's wearing me out. So it's not necessarily that I'm procrastinating on something, but I'm physically struggling. So how do I make sure that things that need to get done, I'm not sitting there procrastinating on? And trying to find a schedule thing that works for me. I don't do well with those planners. I have tried that my entire life. Let's just go ahead and do a planner. Well, you know what? It doesn't work for me. I have tried. I have bought planners. I've got a planner here for this year. It's empty. I've tried doing the calendar on my phone. That doesn't work. I have tried to do a calendar through the computer. That's not worked. So I'm really going to be trying to do some research this next year to find a system that will work for me. And if I find one that works for me, then maybe I can, if I find it works for me, I'll be sharing it out with everybody else. Another thing that I would like you all to indulge me with next year is I took some time to think about it, and one of the things I'd like to do is do some topics about Elvis. And everybody's gonna say, "Why? He's been gone. In 2027 will be 50 years. He's been gone." But you know what? There is a lot to glean from Elvis. There really is. There's a lot to glean from a lot of people surrounding him and a lot of people that have told stories. Not that they haven't been totally accurate, but everybody has their take on this thing that happened and this thing that happened. And I think that we can learn a lot about somebody that spent his entire life trying to be comfortable in his own skin. And I think we can learn a lot from all of that and understanding that. I want to get into that story about the airplane thing, which is fascinating. And so we're going to be doing some Elvis content next year. And you're just going to have to indulge me. But I really think we can learn a lot about somebody that very much tried. And one thing that really impressed me as I was listening, I'm listening to more interviews and all that kind of stuff to kind of prepare a little bit as I'm working. And one of the things that was said by one of his guys was, you know what? He was just the most down to earth guy you could ever imagine. I've never been a fan too much of the hairstylist that he had, which was Larry Geller. And he said the first time he met him, he said he was washing his hair. Hi, Brazy girl. How are you, darling? Long time no see. It's so good to see you. Anyway, he was washing his hair, and he said he thought he was going to walk into his bathroom in it was California, and he was renting a house out there. And he thought he was going to walk in and he was going to have like a whole salon set up in the bathroom, and he didn't. And he just put his head in the sink and washed his hair. And he said he just flipped his hair up, once he was done, and he shook his head around and he just said to Larry, he said, "Well, at least it's clean." And he said, from the minute he had that interaction with him, he said, and this was the first time he met him, he said he was the most down to earth guy he said he ever met in his life. He said he wasn't like any other superstar he had met, because Larry Geller had been around other superstars. So I really think that it would be fascinating to start doing a little bit more deep dive on Elvis. And so we're going to do that. And maybe if nobody shows up, that's fine. But I really think that we can learn a lot about a lot of things from his life story. And Elvis is fascinating. Oh, he is absolutely. I'm a huge Elvis fan. And actually, I would not have found Tommy without Elvis. I was 12 years old when I found Elvis, and I said to my mother, of course, it was the 10th anniversary, and they were advertising that. And I said, Mom, who's that cute guy? And she said, that's Elvis Presley. Well, then I was sold after that. And I got into growing up in Scientology with A.A. Ron. And that's how I found the lifeboat. 20, how many years? Probably 25 years later. That's how I found the lifeboat in April of last year. I would have never found it without my connection to Elvis. And the only reason, oh, Brazy, thank you so much, hun. And I don't have my phone to see who did it, but thank you, Brazy. I'll have to look and see who won memberships. All you members out there, thank you for doing that, hun. That is so appreciative. And I love you. I love you. But let's just take a moment when we have somebody that does gift memberships. We do that. We have 2 levels. We have our thank you very much membership, and we have our Bless Disco Ball membership, and that membership just allows people to get videos early. The basic thank you very much is just a way of supporting the channel. But thank you so much for gifting those memberships, Bracing. Here you go.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And who can't help it? We got to see Elvis, right? And Merry Christmas right back at you. Alfonso says, has anyone ever told you growing up that superstar presidents or any government officials are special human beings different from us? I remember being told that when I was in elementary through middle school. I'm going to use an Elvis saying, just so you know, Alfonso. Elvis used to say, because he had somebody ask him in an interview, he said, what is, something or other. I can't remember what it was that they asked, but his response was, you know what? It's very hard to live up to an image. The image is one thing, the human being's another thing. I don't think they're any different. They put their pants on one thing at a time. The only thing that they have is this. And this does always not mean happiness, guys. This here. And I think that kind of showed in Elvis's life. He was very happy to give. He was happier to give than receive. And I think Bracy is right. I think they're absolutely all the same. I think that there's, respect that needs to be given to anybody, no matter whether they're superstars or not. But I don't think they're any different. That was another thing that I think is worth talking about when it comes to Elvis, because Elvis sat there and struggled with people saying, do they like me because I'm who I am? Or do they like me because, are they like me because I'm Elvis Presley, or like me because I'm Elvis? And that was a struggle that he had throughout his existence. Are the girls liking me because I'm Elvis Presley, or are they liking me because of who I am? And trying to find those people, I think, found it hard. But I think that, to me, they just want to be treated exactly who they are. They don't want to put any airs. I think they're no special. You guys are all superstars. You rock tremendously, and we are so grateful. If you haven't known, but the person that plays that little bit of the music when we do our just thanking our gifted memberships or channel members or whatever, that's a friend of mine who does that. His name is Scott Thompson, and you will hear him sing "So Proud to Be Me." and he's he's no longer able to sing, able to play. He had an accident a couple years ago, and it has made that impossible. But he's blind. He's been blind since birth. He taught himself how to play. And he had an amazing voice, and he was an amazing artist. And you know what? That song is part of our outro. It is part of our channel. It is a way I kind of now end my shows a little bit, is saying, be proud of being yourself because everyone else is taken. That's a heavy weight to carry. Wonder whether someone appreciates you for who you are, rather what you do. Absolutely. And I think Brazy is talking about this. So I've got it up if anybody wants to hear it. I think we're going to play it just as a reminder. I want you guys to remember this, and those that are coming in that are new, I want you singing this song to the rooftops, honestly. And let's just take a moment and we'll let Scott sing it, and then just gives me goosebumps every time I listen to it.
I know that to you, it looks like I'm down and out. And to you I might seem the picture of fear and doubt. Take another good look, for there's something that you just don't see. That I'm so proud of being me. I know that I've left some beautiful things behind, but I look round the bend and who knows what I might find. What's the difference as long as the spirit inside me is free? And I'm so proud of being me. Does that put an end to those questions you have, and all those well-meaning suggestions you have? For I've got to find my own special dream, for the Lord made me that way. The road may be dark and lonely as I go along, but there'll always be that feeling of hope in my song. I don't care what they say, for I'll make out okay. Wait and see, for I'm so proud that my head is on board. I'm not one of the crowd, you see, but I'm so proud of being me. I don't care what they say, for I'll make out okay. Wait and see, for I'm so proud that my head is on board. I'm not one of the crowd, you see, but I'm so proud of being me.
Guys, that song brings me to tears every time I hear it. Um, he is so talented. He is like an uncle to me. Um, you don't have to do the one part of that song that says you don't have to do this. This road may be dark. It doesn't need to be dark. It doesn't need to be lonely. You don't have to do this road by yourself. None of us need to. And just so people know, Cloud Kicker got a membership through that. Teresa, Awakened by the Looking Glass, Nisa, and Janice, all wonderful people. Thank you so much. But it's one of them songs, and he called me in absolute. He was so excited because I had the music, and it's not copyrighted. He never got it copyrighted. And he said to me, he said, Mary, he said, if I had to have anybody take care of it, it'd be you, because I know it would be done right. He said, I know you would have it. He said, and you can use it wherever you need to use it. He said, I know you would do it, and you would do it right. And he said to me, call me up after he heard it on the YouTube. And he said, Mary, I never thought anybody would hear my music other than the people in the circle, because he used to do nightclubs and all that kind of stuff. He said, I never thought that anybody would hear my music. I thought I would leave this world with nobody hearing it. And I said, Scott, there's people hearing it in other countries. And he said, he was in tears. And I thought, I'm so glad that I could do that for a very special man in my life. I'd go to his places where he would not record, but play. And he had this tip jar. And he used to say, whenever the tip jar was there, I know Mary. I always got bigger tips when she was there. And I'd be dancing and everything. And yes, very much. He was actually not, he was born premature and put in an oxygen tank, in one of the oxygen things, and given too much oxygen. And that actually made him blind permanently. And he could literally go and listen to a song and then go right to the piano and play it. I mean, unbelievable, self-taught, and just could play, unbelievably. And his hearing was impeccable. He must have had perfect tone because he was impeccable. I remember sitting in a restaurant, and one of the songs that my grandfather loved was Don't Leave the Pie Out in the Rain. I can't remember that song. MacArthur Park. He liked that one. And I just leaned in to my mother and I said, should I ask Scott to play MacArthur Park? Now, I don't know if he had planned to play it or whether or not he heard me say it. And the next thing I know, the next song that comes on was MacArthur Park. Now, I understand MacArthur Park was like a 7-minute song, and he did it. And then I ended up saying at one point, through it, I said, I wonder if he's going to play Impossible Dream. And my grandmother, who looked at me like I had just about the same restaurant. And shortly after that, the Impossible Dream came up, and it was like, I was just sitting there going, she could have looked at me if that she was so upset with me that I even muttered that. But I don't know whether he heard that or whether he had planned to do it. But we have 2 songs on our channel underneath a playlist called Scott Thompson. One is So Proud to Be Me. The other one is I Got You Covered. The other one we're going to upload this year is Have You Met Miss Jones? What happened was he had a band in the 1968. That's what that picture's from. It was on an album. Thankfully, I found the album. Thankfully, so grateful to Alfonso for being able to put it on disc. And I have those songs. So I'm going to put it up, but each member of the band plays a section of the song. When you hear the organ playing and Scott playing it, it is, I used to, as a little girl, listen to that going, oh my gosh, just the way he was playing, the fact that he can't see the keys and whoosh, unbelievable. And so I've got that. I've got 2 Christmas songs. One is just a funny, not funny. It's just a lighthearted one. The other one is a lot more serious. So I'm going to upload probably those 3 songs this month sometime. One of them is, a Christmas gift. It's kind of, that one. Another is, about the love of Christmas, and then we'll do the Mrs. Jones. And if you're a member of this channel, we do have just 2 members only videos up. We will just do that every Christmas as a way of saying thank you to all our members for all their support. It just helps us be able to do some additional things for the channel. So those are there. If you're a member, you can go view those. But we also have an adorable toilet paper roll project. If you guys are looking for it, we're going to be uploading bean soup recipe that you guys can give as gifts. And I am going to actually be putting out my stand art brownie recipe. Do you know how special you all are? Do you know how special you all are? For me to release that stand art brownie recipe, my husband loves them brownies. They are not from a box. They are delicious, but you could take all the ingredients and put it in a mason jar and give it as a gift any time of year. It doesn't just have to be Christmas. When my husband and I were getting married, when we came up after we were engaged and met his family, I thought, I got to go to Homes. Now, you couldn't do this today because you couldn't fly with it. But I put it in a bag, and I had all these mason jars, and on the top I put crocheted images, or not crocheted, cross-stitch images on each one of them. And we took them to each house, and I gave them to aunts and so forth that we were going, because I thought, I can't cook anything. And I felt bad because they were going to be throwing, get-togethers and stuff to meet me and everything. And I thought, I got to bring something. And so I brought these brownie things. I think eventually they got eaten, they got used, but one aunt said it was just too pretty to even use because of the cross stitch on the very top of it. But we'll be releasing that. I will release my sand art brownie recipe for you all. See how special you are. But he is just, Scott's just, if I live closer, because he's down in Florida, if I lived closer, we would go visit him, and we would try to do some kind of interview or something like that, because he has such an amazing story. And we would do some kind of something or other so that you guys can meet him. But he doesn't have that. But I can tell you from the conversations that we've had with him, he is so grateful to each and every one of you. He thinks the world of each and every one of you. He's so thrilled that his music is getting heard, and it's out there. And, if you guys need a motivation to be proud of being yourself, listen to that song. But realize when it says, for this road may be dark, it does not need to be. If you are listening to this and you are in the chat and you're listening, and there's a wonderful word to use, just very easy. It's easy to type. It's hello. It works every time. And I guarantee you that there will be people in the chat that will come back and say hello right back. Very welcoming community. We're not going to be putting up with anybody coming in here and being mean and disrespectful and bullying. It's not happening here. I won't have it. I'm not going to have people coming in and bashing other content creators. We're not going to do it. You're having that much snow. Thank you, Blessed Crochet. I truly appreciate you, Mary. Well, I appreciate you right back. But they've got to go tend to the pups deep in the snowbank spur. Stay warm. Good night, y'all. Yeah, we had a heat wave on Sunday. I was like, come on. Where did the heat wave come to? I was like, goodness gracious. It was not fun having a heat wave. So tomorrow, be praying, please, that I wake up. I am feeling a little bit better. Just I'm not hurting as bad because I got on and got to connect with y'all. I got to see Brazy Girl and Caradish came in, and No Face, and all these people. I'm so glad. I was sitting there going, where's all the connection happening? Where's all the connection happening? I know everybody can't come in, everything. There's so much going on. There's so many connections. There's so many wonderful channels. There's so many lives. I get it. I appreciate any time that you're able to spend in our chats and stuff. We appreciate it. You are appreciated just for being here, and we are so, so, so grateful for it. So I'm going to get off tomorrow night. I'm going to change it to Christmas Connection at 5 o'clock. We will get on and we will show you how to paint pour. This is another great Christmas gift. Paint pour, just go get some paint pour wooden ornaments. It's really fun and easy. You do not know, can I speak? You don't need to know how to paint to do this. You just have to have fun. This is a great craft for the kiddos. And we will show you how to paint pour those ornaments. And then at 7 o'clock, My Other's Keeper comes on. So we'll redirect you over to My Other's Keeper at 7 o'clock. Let's just take a moment before I leave. I really feel like this is important to do. I'm going to play this because I want people that are new to see this. I want you, as you're watching this video was done, the song was done, this is our theme song, was done by Jake Hudson, who was in here earlier. And we put this video together and we showed it while we were having our monetization celebration. But I want you all to see before we leave, I really think it's important. When you're watching this, it's only about 3 minutes. When you're watching this, I want you to see all of the connections, not anything else. I want you to see all the connections that we made throughout the time that we started since January 13th, where we started. But not only that, all of the connections that happened. And I made a point of making that happening within the video so that when the video is played, you can see the connections going through the entire almost 11 months by the time we got monetized. So just take a moment. I want you to see that and realize how important. And I'm telling you, it's been life-changing for myself and for this channel, having all of those connections. And you guys are the blessing behind Blessed to Crochet. We would not be here without you guys coming in and participating in this channel. The replay crew, the people that are able to be here in the chat, you guys make it possible. And I cannot continue to thank you all enough, not only just for being here, but being my friends and being those connection points. I am so, so grateful for each and every one of you. So let's just take a moment. Let's you look at that.
Needles in hand create the strands, yarns and colors at my command. Blessed to crochet the magic land, crafting dreams with every band. Hook and loop we twist and twine, patterns dance we don't decline. A skein of wool, a pure gold mine. In this craft we brightly shine. Blessed to crochet, we make it grand. From a single thread to something planned, woven hearts in a magic strand. Join us tight in this vibrant band. Transform. Blessed to crochet, we make it grand. From a single thread to something planned, woven hearts in a magic strand. Join us tight in this vibrant band. Woo!
We watch full monetized. Thank you. You are fully monetized. How about that? Huh? Bless the crochet. Congratulations. How cool is that, everybody? Huh? That is so cool. Good for you. You know, never had a doubt. Never had a doubt. And I love the message. It's a beautiful, beautiful ripple that you're putting out into the world. I love that. I do. Couldn't be happier for you. Congratulations. That is awesome.
Guys, I'm going to say this. And I said it when I put that video up for the first time. He may have not had any doubt, but I know I did. I for sure had doubt that we were going to do it and we were going to make it. But just put aside the monetization part. Listen to the end part. I love the ripple you're putting out in the world. I love the message you're putting out to the world. And it's very simple. Connection doesn't fix everything, but it sure helps making this world live through a heck of a lot easier. You're going to have struggles and you're going to have difficulty, no doubt. But when you are going through it, you do not need to go through it by yourself. That's why we are here, not for the crochet. You don't have to know what a single crochet stitch is, double crochet. Hi, Dawn. Oh, thank you so much, hon. And she was another amazing support. I hope you saw that video because you were in it. We were so blessed to be a part of. She helped us too as well. Thank you, Dawn, so much for that. And Dina and Art Junkie and Crystal and Debbie and DJ all got memberships. So thank you so much, Dawn. She is an amazing content creator that also helps to support a lot of wonderful people. And we are very thankful for her support and friendship. Absolutely. So if you haven't subscribed to her, go ahead and subscribe to her. And people are turning green, and I love it. I absolutely love it to be able to see people turning green, and we've got those member-only videos, so they'll be able to see those. So thank you, Dawn, for that. You've been in my prayers. I know you're going through a difficult time and struggling, but you know, you don't have to do this life by yourself, guys. You don't have to. There's no need for it. We're all going to have struggles, and we're all going to have difficulties, right? Connection doesn't fix it. If you've lost somebody, it's not going to bring them back. If you are going through a health crisis, you know, or whatever it is, it's not going to fix that. But what it is going to do is mentally, it will put you in a better place. If you have a family situation or a family unit that's not together and you don't have that support, please realize that you can make your own family. I have brothers and sisters because of the lifeboat, because of the connections that I've made. That's why I thought it was so important to show that video. You saw all those connections being brought forward. And I look back at those conversations, and every time that I'm able to do a live with somebody and have those times, living my best life, we were on her live for 3 hours, and we felt like we known each other our entire lives. We had a wonderful time talking. And we're looking forward to doing more of those in the coming years. We were able, because of this channel, to fill 2 shoe boxes, and I've got to find out where those shoe boxes are. And I know I didn't get rid of them. I have to look at where I did, because I saved the paper. I hope I didn't. I hope I kept it. I like that. A fish farting in a pond may seem inconsequential, but it's a ripple effect. Absolutely. I just remembered. I think I registered it. I know I registered it, but I have to go look. Hopefully I did, because I got to find out where our boxes went. I had the numbers, and I'm just thinking I threw away some things. I hope it was not one of the things I threw away. I'm hoping not. I'll have to look because that was why I got the thing. So I'll have to look. I think I've got it in my emails, hopefully, to be able to look because I know I did. I just realized that because I got to check where the boxes, but we were able to fill 2 boxes because of you guys. Okay. I have the boxes number. Thank God. I think I do. I think those are the boxes number. Yes. Let's see while we're doing this. Let's see. I can find out if one of them is. Let's hope it's the boxes, because then I can do it while I'm on here real quick. Samaritan's Purse. Because I specifically did that so that let's see. No, I don't want that one. Delete. We can find out where those 2 boxes went. If I can find Samaritan's Purse. Oh, here it is. Hi, Crocheting. How are you? Let's see. Here it is. And let's see if we can. Hopefully, I've got the codes because I just remembered. Build your shoebox online. If we can find where to track it. Samaritan's Purse tracking for shoeboxes. Google knows everything, right? It's probably under this, so there's a different website for it. Let's see. Pack your box. That's not what I want. Label, drop, what's build. How to pack, what to pack, label options, drop off locations. I'll have to look. Students, tips, packing, volunteers. I'll have to find it. There was a place you could go to do it. Packing, project, pre-printed, shop, free materials. Pack. I may have to do it. Sending. Well, that may be telling where. No, that won't tell me. Packing tools. Where do I follow my box? That's it. All your box describe feature QR code. Well, I did that, but where did I go? Tracking. How can I shoebox tracking. I found it. Let's see if this will work. Well, I can enter, and we can enter an email. That'll be even easier. Right? See if it's gone anywhere yet. But you guys helped to fill both of those. You helped to make me fill 2, and that will be a tradition on our channel every year. Submit. Guatemala. That's where our boxes went to. So your most recent shoebox was gifted to Guatemala on December 8th. So that is one of them. So one of them went to Guatemala. I don't know about the other one, but I know one of them went there. Let's see if I put in the tracking number and see what it says. That won't do it. But one of them went to Guatemala. So my one of the soap caddies went to Guatemala. That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's see if it puts in there and tells me what it is. Now, Guatemala. So one of them went, I don't know which one it was. Went where? I think I did the girls box first. Let's see if the other one shows where it went. And they look like they both went to Guatemala. So we may have to do a little bit of understanding about Guatemala. Located in Central America, Guatemala is known for its tourism, production of sugar, coffee, and beans. Samaritan's Purse began delivering Operation Christmas Child shoebox gifts to the children here in 1997. That was the year Christina became, well, the year I became pregnant with Christina. Since 2009, we have also offered the Greatest Journey, our follow-up disciple program, to the shoebox recipients. So that is where our shoeboxes went, was Guatemala. That's pretty cool. I wanted to do that because I wanted you to all know where your shoeboxes winded up. So ours winded up in Guatemala, and we did 2 this year, and we're going to do 2 next year. And some of our disco balls winded up in Guatemala because I put in 2 disco balls in there. That was cool. So thank you all so much. Guys, I needed this tonight. I am so grateful for the people that were here, the people that gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And let me take a moment and do this for Don Yarndall, who gifted 5 memberships as well.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And who else? We get look at Elvis, right? I won't put the other one up that thanks all our members. That'll kind of do it. It is never expected. It is always appreciated. We are so grateful. Please go and support Darren Yondal. If you haven't connected with her channel, please go ahead and do that. I'm going to get off here. I'm going to record day 9 of the Advent Journal, and then I'm going to hopefully done with the Christmas cookie recipes. If you haven't submitted a Christmas cookie recipe, we'll still take them, and get that up for you all. And then I'm going to finish Christina's calendar, which probably won't get done until tomorrow. And again, next couple of days after that, we'll be really working to get everybody who won something from everything all together so that we can get it all out in the mail to you all. And I tremendously, tremendously appreciate everybody's patience and understanding. Again, we did have a death in the family, and that did put a little things behind, along with some other things that went on last month. So we appreciate everybody's patience and understanding. We just appreciate everybody being here. You guys are rock stars. So again, stay connected, everybody. As I have mentioned throughout this whole thing, it is so, so important. We got you covered. Thank you so much for having us covered. And remember, be proud of being yourself, because everyone else is taken. And thank you, Dawn. I know that you have had some losses lately, and you have been in my prayers, son. I've been praying for you. So it was very unexpected. The one thing that we did learn from that is she was fine. There was nothing. They went out to dinner. There was no signs of anything. She had not an abscess. Something happened within her lung. And she was gone within seconds. So you know what? We never know when we're going to leave this world. And if you've got somebody around you that's here, tell them you love them. Tell them often. Give them that hug. Let them know how much they mean to you, because they can be gone within seconds. And that was what happened with her. She was Went to dinner, sat in a chair, pulled out her iPad, and her husband called for her and she was gone. So just this holiday season, especially, if you've got somebody that's here, tell them you love them over and over and over again. Yeah, it was hard, and we're very concerned for his father, because this is his wife of 45 years, and it's going to be hard for him, and he's not in the greatest health. So, and the hard thing about it too, and one thing I'll say real quick is that his father and him have started to build a relationship back, just a little bit, in little things, and we were there for a Christmas party on Saturday while we were gone, and Christina says now that she's adopted by Josh, she said, "Well, what am I supposed to call him?" And so she said, "Can I call him Grandpa?" And he said, "Yeah, as long as you don't call me late for dinner." And then she just put his hand on his shoulder. She put her hand on his shoulder and said, "I love you, Grandpa." And he said, "I love you back." And people were shocked that Michael first allowed him to be called Grandpa, because he is. And actually Grandpa before he was even got to the point where Josh could call him Dad. And that's the next step. And not only that he said back to her, "I love you." That was huge. He's not even told his own son that yet. So little things are making headway. And it was really special that when he needed a help up, Josh took his hand and helped his dad up. So forgiveness and healing happens when you stretch out that hand of forgiveness. And that'll be a story, I think, in itself, and something to talk about. But, he showed up even grieving the loss of his wife. And Michael's just he's a hard nut to crack, really is. But he does have a tender heart, and we're starting to see that come out. So, thank you all. But just you never know when you're going to leave this world. So take a moment this time, especially this time of year, and let people know you love them. So important, guys. I love you all, every single one of you. You all mean the world to me, and I'm so grateful for this channel and the blessings that come around it. And remember, you are the blessing behind Blessed to Crochet, and we love you all. Have a great night, y'all, and we'll see you tomorrow for Christmas Connection Day 10 at 5 o'clock. We're going to do Christmas paint for ornaments. I don't believe it's already 10. We're to 10. Have you ever had a friend ask you to call her mom and grandma? Yes, I did, Alfonso. I had a friend of mine who asked me, and I did. She had children, but none of them had grandchildren. One of them couldn't have children, so it was a blessing to actually call her grandma, and she acted like one to me. So if it's a boundary that you think, it's all up to you. You have to think if it's a boundary you can cross. If you feel as if that woman is that special that you could call her grandma, then that's fine. I call my husband's grandma because that's what she wants to be called. So, the mama part, that one to me, I would just say I wouldn't do that. For me, I wouldn't, because my mama is, I call my mother-in-law mom, but I wouldn't be calling too many people mama except my own mama. So I think that's individual and up to you. But if you need to talk about it, you can give me a call. I'll talk to you all later. You have a great night, everybody. Stay connected, and we'll see you. Hi, Grow Joyfully Homestead. We're going to be leaving. You just came in. We're going to leave. But join us tomorrow for day 10, Christmas Connection, and we're going to do some paint pour ornaments, and that'll be tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, because then I'll send you over to my other's keeper at 7. So everybody have a great night, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye, everybody. That's okay. No worries. No worries. Not a problem. I'm just glad you stopped in, and I got to see you, and I got to say hi. So I'm glad. I'm thrilled to death. And thank you so much for your support and stopping by. So have a great night, and we'll see you all tomorrow for Christmas Connection Day 10 at 5 o'clock. Take care, everybody.
So proud of being